Hello tribe, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to bring back one of the topics I used to do before, and I've noticed that a lot of you liked it. So I hope I'm going to remember doing this more often. If in case I forget to do it at least once in 2 weeks, please comment down below on any upcoming video and let me know. Pile number 1 on your left, pile 2 middle, pile 3 on your right. Choose yours and I'm going to see in timestamps. Hello group number 1. Let's see what's happening behind the scenes. And I've pre-pulled 2 more cards. One of them is from the Black Mirror deck, and the other, I believe, is the Mystical Reading cards. And this is the Haunted House Tarot. Let's go. You have the Magician. You have the Four of Pentacles. You have the Anger and Chains. And you have the Explore Your Ancestry. So let me tap into this. I like how the light falls on this card. It feels like it's given her some sort of insight or a download. I just want to clarify one thing here. And I'm going to use the Tarot of the Angels for that. We have the Seven of Swords. I'll put it on the side here. It's just for me to be clear what cards mean, the main cards that I've pulled. The Two of Wands. And the Strength. Okay. So, by the way, bottom of the deck, the Queen of Pentacles. We're going to be talking to those people who are trying really hard to, and their main focus right now is money. What's happening behind the scenes, what I'm seeing here, you are trying to get something material. It could be one particular thing that you are aiming for, or it could be in general the lifestyle that you want to live, how much money you want to earn. The thing is, there is a bit of distortion here. Your cards are saying, yes, you can get what you want, but in someone's mind, they need to live a particular life, because if they don't, they think that they're going to be not part of society in some way. Your cards are saying, make sure whatever you're trying to achieve, it's not to look good, it's to feel good. So, for example, someone who posts pictures of Instagram going on holiday destinations, but they can't really afford that. Or they're trying to get money just to show off what kind of life they're capable of living, even though behind the scenes it's not really there yet. So your cards are saying, if you're choosing what kind of business to start, if you are choosing your career path, or if you're buying a house, whatever the case would be, make sure it is aligned with your peace. Because I'm seeing someone even scrolling online and comparing themselves to other people, thinking that they have much more than me. I need to step up my game just for the status of how I look. Or if I'm going to have this, then I'm going to look that way. Or if I'll have that, then it means that I am successful in the eyes of society. There is something that needs to be tweaked here, your cards are saying. Make sure that you're listening to your heart, because it feels like some of you are pushing something so hard and it's not happening because your soul is telling you, hey, this is not your way of doing things, or this is not something that you need. You thought that you needed that, but it's just for other people, or it's just for the image of it. Say if you, for example, want to start a business and the first thing that you think of, hey, let me research what kind of businesses make the most money and I'll go there. It's not that your heart goes there. You can involve yourself in a business like that, of course. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to enjoy it, it's going to feel like a freaking struggle, constant struggle. And on top of that, if you're not going to make as much money as you thought that you'd be, I'm getting all of that chaos, like anger and chains. You're like, oh, I went for it. It was supposed to happen. I don't really enjoy doing this because I came at it just for the money. And now I'm like, maybe I have debt. Maybe I have this. I'm not saying that you shouldn't aim for money. Don't get me wrong here. Your cards are saying, look at the approach. Why do you think you need that particular thing? And can it be somehow tweaked to match you, who you are? And then money and wealth and everything else will follow. Take a look at your ancestry. Sorry guys, got interrupted. A reminder I had on my phone. Take a look at your ancestry. There is something that is similar, something that people used to do in your ancestry that you might know of. Something that didn't work out for a couple of people I'm seeing here. Look at the story. If you can, ask people questions, whoever knew those people, or in general, look back at how your ancestors were earning money, and who was successful and who wasn't so successful, and what were they doing. It's like taking notes of what worked and what didn't work, not to say that you have to go the same way or to apply the same techniques and structures. It's almost as if your cards are saying, do a bit of investigation for a broader perspective on the situation. For some of you, you might be pushing yourself to do something, to achieve something that it's not aligned with who you are. Or maybe your parents were telling you to go for this particular thing, but you really didn't want that and you're struggling. Your cards are saying what's important for you is to make sure that what you are keeping in your life, material things, resources, is exactly what you want. It's almost as if I'm seeing someone who doesn't know themselves so well because they didn't have a chance to sit down and to be very honest and authentic with themselves. Is this actually something that I want? Once I get it, how would my life change then? Would that change the way I'm feeling? Would that give me more substance apart from comfort? What else can I do in order to get that comfort or get those financial resources, get that money in the bank, but so that it is authentic to me? It is a part of me. It is what I want to do, so that I can enjoy that journey. And for some of you, what I'm picking up here, you are holding on to something that's keeping you in a limbo. I'm not going to continue talking about this too much because I feel like it's for a couple of people. What makes you feel like you are in a limbo? It's part of your life. It's something that you have, maybe a material thing, but you feel like it's kind of holding you back because if you didn't have that, you would be able to make different decisions because you would be much more free. I really want to read about this card, Anger and Chains, and I will leave it up to your interpretation. I love how this deck is described because it leaves space for people to think. Forced, channeled, outside, unreasonable, undirected, but powerful. Lines and sparks and chains and signs and lines all metal together. Geometry and colors like an explosion. Sentence, I've got to break free. I want to be free. Anger is not the road to clarity. It's not a controlled effort or a cold dish. It is raw, primal, explosive. It is the loss of reason, the loss of restraint. A bomb burning right in black color. A wax seal carefully crafted to be immediately broken. But anger is also freedom. How can you break a single thread woven with a million others? How can you unfetter yourself from a bad situation, letting all the rest unchanged? It doesn't work like that. When you need to break free, you need to shake and shout. And more things will be broken than just what you want to hurt. They are like a bundle. You can target, but you cannot choose. Break many to break one. Save one to save many. I'll leave this to your interpretation. I hope that this made sense, pile number one. If it did, please let me know in the comments down below. Or leave me I don't know why I want a skull emoji for this one. It feels like there is a lot of energy in this pile. And it also represents to me like a shift, a change, like, okay, let's go. And I also think Four of Pentacles reminds me of that too. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hey group 2, let's see what is happening behind the scenes. I've pulled 2 other cards from Oracle decks. Before starting this reading, you have the 8 of Cups and you have the Ace of Cups. It's interesting to see how that's gonna connect to the Oracle cards. By the way, this is Black Mirror deck, in case anyone will be asking. Calling the Storm. And this is the mystical reading cards. We have Show Self-Respect. Wow. Now, this is going to be very specific. If this is not your reading, it's not your reading. This could be applied to either platonic or romantic relationship. Whatever the case, your cards are saying what's happening behind the scenes, or you don't see. Maybe some of you have started noticing that you're going to leave someone behind, that you're going to separate with one particular person. It could be a business partner, a colleague, a romantic partner, it could be a friend. But this has already kind of started happening, I'm picking up. Because whatever the situation is, you felt that either your boundaries were not respected or you were not respected in the situation continuously. It's not like a one-off situation. Whatever this is about, whoever this is about, your cards are saying you've witnessed this person somehow minimize you or make you feel like a pile of crap from time to time. And it feels like you're deciding to start over. Start over a relationship. There is going to be this transitional phase where you are going to be calling in the storm, literally saying, okay, I need a change. I need a storm to get rid of what was on that ground. And I'm seeing a lot of trash. It's just very metaphorical here. And the trash represents the hurt, the pain, the harassment, maybe for some of you, belittling someone, or words that were spoken that were hurtful, or actions that were hurtful. And you're calling in the storm in order for all of that trash to be picked up and to be thrown exactly where it needs to go. In order for you to start fresh again. And it feels like you're already looking at that castle over here. You're like, okay, walked away from those cups. I wonder what is on the other side for me. And deep down with these 2 moons here, you know that wherever you're going, it's freedom. On the other side, you're going to find freedom. And I'm also getting peace and restoration. So for some of you, you will encounter a situation where you literally feel like you're being restarted again. For some of you, it's connected to your heart or to your energy, maybe levels. You feel like you need to recharge yourself after this takes place. I really want to read Show Self-Respect from the book for you. Give me a second. It's actually on top of the shelf here. It's a very straightforward card, but there might be like a sentence or two that that will stand out to you. It's time to get to know your inner self. Self-respect requires you to listen to the cycles of your body and your inner voice, as well as discern what behavior, relationships, environment, food, beverage, work, etc. are healthy for you. Self-worth occurs when your world of thoughts and feelings is elevated into higher domains. That is when you start to know at the core of your being that you are a spirit soul being supported by many angelic helpers. What can stop you from self-love and self-respect are the deep personal lies you might have developed in the early years of your childhood, of being unwanted, not good enough, not lovable enough, or not smart enough. This can plunge you into a perpetual self-doubt and self-sabotage. It is time to identify what is working in your life and what is harming you. This self-reflection will allow you to turn your confusion and uncertainty into a profound self-knowledge. If you want, you can print screen the action portion, but you don't have to. Right, I want to pull more cards for pile number 2. What's happening behind the scenes? Expect the storm to come in. It's brewing, I'm hearing. It is brewing. Call in change whenever and set a very clear intention. I need this to change. I want this to change. And start acting towards it. Start inviting the storm. It feels like for some of you, whatever the situation is, you felt like you had to protect yourself from that particular person. Again, could be a work situation, romantic, platonic, doesn't matter. You felt that you wanted to, your body might have been telling you that, hey, I don't really feel safe around this person. Or, hey, I really feel like something weird is happening in my home the moment I meet this person. I would say in general, pile number 2, you would benefit from cleansing the self as well as your environment here in order to neutralize the space, okay? Let me have a sip of water. Okay. What is happening behind the scenes? It's like you're being called to be guided by your higher self and by your intuition to walk through that gate. You're turning in both of these cards, you're turning your back to something. So be prepared to leave something behind. What did I say? Intuition, right? The High Priestess is here. During that time, you also, a lot of you may be drawn to magic, maybe drawn to some sort of spiritual practice, maybe, where you want to really focus on your power. Sorry, I'm currently sick, so my throat's acting funny. You want to focus on your power, especially the feminine power, the wisdom, the deep inner knowledge, your intuition, as well as the power of the feminine. And I'm seeing a very graceful figure in my vision. And also self-care, right? What you don't see happening in the future. Let's tap into the future a bit. Okay, nice. Nice. I like that for you. 6 of Wands. Oh, that is good stuff. Good stuff. Nice. Look, you are, remember this card that we had? Show self-respect. And we have the 7 of Wands here. What I'm seeing here, I'm so sorry guys about my throat. What I'm seeing here, someone prioritizes themselves in order to respect themselves more, and they're going to be reviewing what kind of choices they're going to be making, who they're going to keep in their life, who they're going to want to be in contact with in general, because someone lacked self-respect in the past. And once they start taking action and protecting themselves, standing up for what they believe is right morally for them, what is ethical, what is respectful, they're going to come out on top with the 6 of Wands here, because they will know how to play a game right, game metaphorically. Maybe you are involved in a situation where someone likes to play games. Maybe you are involved in a situation where strategy is being used and you need to strategize better. And that's exactly what you're doing. But the way towards it, it feels like you are first saying, okay, enough is enough. I don't want this anymore. I'm going to respect myself more. When I'm doing this and that, I don't show self-respect. And therefore, if I don't show self-respect, I allow others to treat me that way with lack of it, right? So it seems like you are stepping into more self-confidence, self-appreciation, and self-love here through some sort of a situation that may at first seem chaotic, but that it's not going to be chaotic. It's almost like it's like a fight for respect, fight for maybe you're gonna use your throat chakra as well, where you're like, listen, I gotta say something to you I never said before, but I do not like the way you treat me. Or when you do this, it makes me feel that way. This cannot continue anymore. Before we go, I'm going to read a card from the Black Mirror deck from the book Calling the Storm. Power comes not from the inside, but from connection and integration to a greater whole. Visual seed. A shaman woman wears an antler hat, dresses in crimson and brown, and holds her crow-headed staff to the storm. Autumn leaves spiral out of control around her as the whirlwind shakes the world. Pull and release, push to the limit. The eye is the only peaceful place that can be. Going dark. There is time to find and release our power, like a spring that had been compressed to the point it has lost the memory of motion and movement. Yet, there is power inside it. Finding it is called empowerment. It starts from the belief in our power, in our ability to cope, to fight, to endure, to overcome a challenge. However, too often we are encouraged to see empowerment as something that happens only within, in our I cannot speak in pile number 2. Maybe that's what's the issue. You didn't want to speak up. Psychological space, I wanted to say. We are not necessarily islands. We can borrow the power of the world around, the context, the environment, the expectations. We do not control the storm, we just call it. To call the storm, we need not to fear it. And this is what will make us strong. After the storm, there is always sun. So, if the sky has been gray for too long time, it's time not to fear the storm, but to embrace it. It will grow up and devour our chains and our jailers. And it will hurt us as well, but it will be healthier than just stare at the chilly rain. We can restart only after we let ourselves end. That's summed up exactly what I wanted to say here in pile number 2. I hope that this was helpful. If you need more content, find me on Patreon, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Hey, group number 3, let's see what we have for you. We have 2 cards from the Haunted House Tarot, and I also have off-screen 2 cards from the Oracle deck. This is the Black Mirror, and this is the Mystical Reading cards, okay? Let's go. We have the Strength card as well as the 4 of Wands. We have Hiding Your True Self. Let me push it a little bit. And we have Develop Stronger Concentration. What is happening behind the scenes where you don't see? In general, the energy that I'm getting here is that a lot of you are fighting yourself, literally. You are fighting against yourself. For some of you, it's because you're not brave enough in some way to show yourself for who you truly are. So you're hiding behind the image. And a lot of people, right, we have masks. That's completely normal. We act certain way at work, we act certain way at home, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a repressed individual because they don't allow themselves to be who they want to be. And what you don't see behind the scenes is what's happening. It feels like the fire is brewing, where there's going to be a situation where you'll have to show yourself. In both of these cards, what we see here is that it's almost as if these people want to hide behind someone else, behind an image. Your cards are saying, make sure to evaluate who you truly are. What do you like, right? What do you enjoy doing? What do you like? What kind of colors do you have in you, right? Are you adventurous? Are you crazy? Do you like to be silly? Do you like to be spontaneous, but you don't allow yourself because maybe sometimes you think what other people will think of me, right? It's just an example. But your cards are saying it's time for you to go within your home, right? Your inner self, in order to recognize why you're doing what you're doing, to find that inner strength that's going to help you not only to be a little bit more authentic and true to yourself, but it also feels like because you're so focused a lot of times, not showing who you are, that you then lack energy to do other things and you cannot focus. Maybe some of you dissociate sometimes, and your cards are saying we need to really look at who we are hiding from. There was a situation in the past that might have been traumatic to some of you. Maybe someone assaulted you, maybe someone was abusive, whatever the case, where it seems like there were parts of you split, right? Your physical body and your energy body kind of like, whoop. We have fragmentation here. We have hints of fragmentation. And I'm also seeing the possibility of disassociation. I cannot find my way back home to me. And that is why I cannot be as authentic as I want to be, or I'm hiding behind a veil, right? Or I hope that people don't talk to me on the street. Your cards are saying there is a key that you can find that's going to unlock the doors to where you need to get. So that moving forward in life, you won't anymore burn the energy on hiding, but instead you're going to use that energy in order to create something in your life, to manifest something in your life, to achieve something in your life. What's happening behind the scenes in general here, pile 3, is that someone is burning too much energy, wanting not to show something. Maybe you have a secret that you feel like if you did tell someone, you'd get in trouble, but it's eaten you up. Maybe you wanted to have a conversation with someone for a while now, but you know it takes a lot of courage. And you keep avoiding it. But the moment you have that conversation, you're going to set yourself free, and you won't be using as much of that energy avoiding that conversation, having this inner fight, knowing that you're supposed to, but not wanting to do it. Now, for a little group of you, what you're being taught right now behind the scenes is how to have a better structure in your life, how to have better discipline in your life, how to be more organized. And why I'm saying that, because I'm seeing someone in the kitchen grabbing one ingredient, grabbing the other, because you don't have a plan, and the cooking, it could be very enjoyable, but it turns into a chaotic one that requires 10 times more energy than if they have planned what they're going to do and they have prepped. It's just an example. So behind the scenes, what's happening here, you're being taught how to, first of all, recognize what is that itch that eats up your energy. that doesn't allow you or let you be free in some way? Why do you want to hide? Why do you want to close the door? Why you don't want people to talk to you sometimes? Why you cannot respond to messages because you feel like it requires too much energy? It's your cards are saying there is a reason why. So you can uncover the reason why and set yourself free. Let me have a sip of water. Let's continue. I'm going to read from the book Hiding True Self. Hiding is keeping things inside. Lack of trust becomes lack of hope. So there must be a limit. Visual seed. In the dazzling light, there is a hint of a door, like the door to a hammam. Outside, draped in scarlet tunics, stand two women, one under the sign of the sun and the other beneath the sign of the moon. Sentence. You could be in front of the mirror, or you could hide behind the mirror, yet you choose to be the mirror. The mirror. Going dark. Hiding is a survival instinct. Do you want to be honest and truly be yourself? Very few people will accept you then. You are too complicated to be comfortable, too contradictory to be easy, too exceptional to be believed, too plain to be considered. You can be the sun, you can be the moon, you can be the door, you can be the road, you can be the butterfly and the brick. Maybe the question is not if, but when. Sometimes real solitude is when there is not a right moment to be yourself, and not the right person, and neither the right way. Being yourself is like a moment at the spa. It is a massage for the soul, a purification process that brings in oxygen and turns away age and wear. It is bliss and pleasure. Now I'm going to continue. I'm going to talk about develop stronger concentration. And I'm going to pull more cards later on. It is a very straightforward card, but maybe there's going to be a sentence or two that will stick to you, that you need to hear. Become more detailed and effective in all you do. Acute concentration enables you to think in a cohesive, harmonious way. By learning to deepen your concentration, you will be able to delve into a more profound understanding of life, make better decisions, and effectively work with life-changing healing and spiritual processes. As long as your attention is dispersed on the outside world, you are not refining your inner self. These two connect, you see that? Correct concentration removes nervousness and fear and helps you focus your attention on what enriches and enlivens you. Improving your ability to concentrate also awakens your imagination and ability to visualize, and is a powerful step to developing your intuition. The more you concentrate, the more you start to identify the small details that make all the difference in every area of life. Excellent concentration also allows you to become extraordinary in any field of study and to dramatically improve your memory. So I feel like this, the reason for lack of concentration hides somewhere within you. And you may have not unlocked it just yet, but your cards are saying that you will. Let's see, anything else, card number 3. What's happening behind the scenes? Some of you also haven't realized how much power you hold and how strong you are, because maybe you were not made to believe so in the early days of your existence. We have the 8 of Wands. Something is coming at you very quickly. We have the Moon. Oh, you're gonna dive deep into your subconscious. You may get a hint. Even during this reading, you may get a light bulb moment. I know exactly what it is. I need to look into that. If that's the case, can you leave a moon emoji? You don't have to tell me what it is if you don't want to share. It's like what's happening in the future. You're able to realize, bottom of the deck, 9 of Swords, what made you feel stiff, anxious, closed off, wanting to be in a hermit mode for most of your life or hide away, you are realizing what it is and how you can approach it. So you're finding tools that help you feel more grounded and to feel more in a moment, which will allow you to be more of yourself, if that makes any sense to you. What is the best advice for you right now? What is the advice for you right now for your highest good? Advice for you right now for your highest good. Do not be afraid to compete. Don't run from competition. Embrace it. Don't run from conflict. Embrace it. See what it can bring you. Even inner conflict, right? What is best advice for you right now? Also, if you're involved in a situation that requires seeking for justice, if it wasn't fair, and you know that you need to fill any legal forms, your cards are saying, listen to what you're being told. This is completely your decision. I feel like some of you were afraid to do so. For example, claim the money that belongs to you. Right? You're like, it's okay. Maybe you're a bit of a people pleaser as well, pile number 3, though I feel like a lot of you have already recognized that if this is you, and you are much better now. You're not doing it as much. Seek for justice, your cards are saying. Seek for justice and don't run away from conflict or inner conflict. Dive into that and see what's there for you, instead of being passive. Passivity, your cards are saying, is not the way to go, and what life is teaching you right now is how to be more generous to yourself by fighting for what you deserve. Okay? I hope this made sense, group number 3. If you need more content, find me on Patreon, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.